Who is Distiller Greyling and what is our story? Let me go tell you. Hey everyone, Distiller Greyling here, one of your favorite home and hobby distillers. So I've made a few videos now, put it out there, and I thought maybe it's time for you guys to find out what am I all about and why am I doing this. So here goes my story. So me and my wife, we really like things that are crafty. We like craftiness behind it, the people behind making different type of things, and it's just not spirits. I'm talking about anything, whether it's furniture or jewelry or just something that's very nice and pretty. With the craftiness of things, we also like craft spirits, a craft gin or a craft beer or a craft whiskey or craft rum. So we've been tasting and experimenting with a few things and we really like it a lot. But let's get back to the beginning. So I am currently working as a production foreman in a chemical factory where they're always trying to reach new frontiers, and I must say I enjoy my job. It's not that I feel like my current job is too hectic or not for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy the plant a lot. I enjoy the process of it. I like always to see how you can take one product and refine it and make a different product. So even before I ever thought about distilling, I had that idea of process. I like to see how things change and how they work together. So beginning this distilling journey wasn't too difficult for me because it was something that's already an interest for me. So I've been working there for a few years now, 16 years plus. I've been enjoying it a lot. When I became production foreman, it was a bit of a bumpy stage where you all of a sudden you've got a team and you have to work with the team, and your end results are determined by your team, and whether I get a promotion or not is determined by my team's end result. And that teach me quite a bit how to really interact and work with people. It's different than just being in the team, but now you have to be the leader of that team. And at first it was a challenge, but I pushed through, and I must say I enjoy it now. It's nice to know your team, it's nice to know each individual and know how they operate, and I still love teaching them as well, you know, how to operate the plant and to find out how each of them has their unique way of operating the process. And then a few years ago in 2017, Western Cape happened. Yes, my brother-in-law, he and his family moved down from Gauteng, where we are staying currently, all the way down to the Western Cape for his work, and we went to visit them in October 2017 and October 2019, and we completely fell in love with the place. The whole Western Cape, lower Western Cape area, Strand and Somerset and Stellenbosch, going up to Franschhoek and Worcester and Aston, all those places are lovely. And we just felt like, you know, this is a place where we can make a home for ourselves. We can relocate down to Western Cape and we can really make it our new home. And we got back home here in Van der Bijl Park in Gauteng area, and I really started looking for a job, a chemical process production foreman job there in the Western Cape. The big problem with that is they've got a lot of food industry, whether it's now picking fruits, making wine or making cheeses. They've got a lot of food processing industry and not a lot of chemical. And the chemical parts that are there, unfortunately the plant where I'm working or the specific knowledge I have of my plant, it's not what they want. I had a few applications, didn't came back very positive. I ended up starting to look for jobs that I didn't even thought I would look for. I was looking for, I applied for a caretaker of an apartment building just to get my foot into the Western Cape and go from there. And honestly, it was hard. You have this dream of moving down to somewhere starting something, and nothing happened. And one positive note that kind of started, and we were excited, and then 2020 happened. This whole lockdown stopped everything, and for the whole 2020 we just sat at home. You can't apply for anything because everybody doesn't know what's going to happen. The whole world is in lockdown. We don't know what to expect. And we ended up sitting at home and starting to think, what can we do to get to Western Cape? What can we do ourselves? Forget about looking for somewhere to work. What can we on our own do to see, can we get to the Western Cape? And we were sitting around jokingly, and it was here by November 2020, and we were saying that, we like all these craft spirits, why don't we make our own gin? And we laughed about it, and 3 days after that, I was like getting the laptop out and see, how do you make gin? And it's like, no, you use vodka and neutral spirits, and it's like, okay, I don't know what's neutral spirits, but I know vodka. How do you make vodka? Oh, vodka you make from a neutral grain spirit. And I was like, okay, I need to do some research. And I started doing research, and now it says you need to distill. You need a distillation column. I'm like, all right, start to Google secondhand distillation columns. I get to the weirdest things. I think to myself, man, I don't hope these guys want to sell these equipment that's on. There's like 2 buckets welded together, and I just thought, no, this might not be the thing for me. And over lunchtime, I was sitting at work one day, again browsing through secondhand stills, and one of my work colleagues, he asked me, what are you doing? What are you looking at? And I'm trying to explain to him that now I've got this mad idea of making craft spirits, and I need a still. And he said, yeah, but he's got a colleague or a family member that distills, why don't I check these few websites? And he told me, go look at some South African websites where I'm staying. And I'm like, guys in South Africa actually does this. And he says, yes. And I went on to a few websites, and one standout was Distilling. The whole thing about Distilling's website that caught my attention was the type of products they had, the training, the amount of training they have, and the after service they provide. And I sent them a mail, got hold of them. I did my course through them, Introduction to Distilling, a whole comprehensive course where you do your distillation on its own, how to make brandy and whiskey and gin and molasses or rum. And I really got excited. I was in that stage where I just wanted to start to make things. And they did ask me, doing a craft distillery is not one of the easier things around. Yes, it might be very profitable, and it looks exciting to have your own distillery, but getting there is quite a process. And I said it's fine, and I did the business class as well, went through that whole class, and it's like that fire inside of me just sparked, and I was like, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to go after. And this was now about February, March 2021. Did all the courses. I had a major plant shutdown again, so I just stopped with everything. And then after the shutdown, we went to my brother-in-law again in Western Cape. And that last week when we were there, I started putting in all my orders of my still, my first 13-litre still. You can go check out this video of my 13-litre still. And I remember getting home. We got home the Monday, and the Tuesday we drive through to Centurion to get it. And I made my wife crazy because I have it, and now I just want to distill. I've got all these raw materials. I don't even know entirely how it's going to work or how to ferment. Has never fermented anything in my life, but I just want to start. I want to do it. And the process was slow at first. I do small fermentations, 5 liters at a time. As I get comfortable, I move to a 10-liter, 25-liter, and now at this moment I got my 200-liter drums. And it's actually still small. Even though for a home and hobby distiller, it's quite good. There's no, so the capacity-wise, there's no issue of that. But for a craft distillery, that is still a very low and a small amount. But obviously here at home, while I'm still renting, I don't have space for all that equipment. So just for getting your licenses, you need your premises as well. And also the premises in the province you're going to register. So for me that want to distill in Western Cape, I need to have all that set up. So at the moment, it sometimes feels like things are going slow or stagnant, but I feel that if I get that little bit by little bit of experience and training, and today I did distill something and it went horribly wrong, to find out why that it went wrong, and to make sure that I write down my notes. I got all my small notebooks and I write it down and say, hey, don't do that again. And that's how I learn. And that's how I ended up starting with the Facebook page and starting with the YouTube videos, is that I've got that natural tendency of myself just to teach everybody, you know, I've done this today and I want to share it with someone and say, yeah, I messed up here. If you ever do it, don't do it this way. And I started to see it work, especially that, you know, not everybody's sharing my passion. It's, at first it was interesting, yeah, this guy is making spirits, but yeah, hearing about the third or fourth time, they started to get distant. They didn't want to talk to me a lot, or don't want to talk about spirits anymore. That's all I wanted to talk about at one stage. So I started to make a Facebook page and just thought, you know, make a Facebook page. Literally, if I'm going to distill today or ferment today, I'll put it on the page and just see what's the response. And the response was good. Hey, just to see how the people, how the community out there really finds it interesting, and actually how people ask me, you know, yes, they want to come for lessons. I must teach them. And I was like, man, I've been doing it maybe a year and a half. I would gladly teach you, but I don't have space to teach you. And a lot of people start asking me, well, you know, I have to make a YouTube channel. YouTube channels, they are much easier to re-look at the videos and search for it than on Facebook. And at first I was a bit hesitant, and I decided, you know what, let's give it a go. So I made a YouTube channel, and I must say 10, 11 videos in, I'm finding it very interesting. Sometimes it's time planning, it's a bit hard. I'm still working, and I need to ferment, and I need to distill, and I've still got my personal life that's more important to me than just distilling and making videos. So I have to balance out everything and get it into place. And sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes, like a few weeks ago, I missed some videos. As with work as well, we're having shutdowns. But I still enjoy distilling at this moment. I still enjoy the fermentations of seeing how you make this raw materials and how it get converted to alcohol and how you distill it. And even after you've distilled it, to still play around your spirits. Adding oak chips to wooded, or make a German with different botanicals, or even making a spice room with different botanicals. So for me, I would definitely still continue, and I will still pursue this dream of opening up a craft distillery one day. It might not happen tomorrow, it might happen in a week from now, I do not know. Maybe there's an angel investor out there who can give me a hand. I would appreciate that very much. But for now, I enjoy it, I love it, and I will still continue, and I will still share all that I have with you guys. And just as I share with you guys, you share back with me, I also learn stuff. I've got a few tips that I already got that I didn't learn in my training. And it's just about experience, people who's down and dirty doing it, and see what works and what works not. So I appreciate it. So definitely keep on commenting, keep on giving me advice, keep on challenging me as well. I love it. I know I've still got a challenge up for starch conversion. That will definitely come, and be tuned for that. So yes, we will continue. And even when we do start our distillery, I will still continue with videos. I will still showcase how a distillery operates, you know, how you do a small craft distillery still compete with bigger brands out there. And we will enjoy it. And I will enjoy telling it to you guys. And maybe in a few years time from now, I'm going to look at this video and have a very great and successful business, and maybe already taught 1 or 2 or 3 distillers that I just saw the potential in them. So we'll definitely hope for the best and keep going on. We are very determined, and there's still a lot of hard work, but hard work doesn't scare me. But for now, that's all that I have. And remember, guys, to be awesome, to be kind, and be yourself.